This is a short tutorial on speed, distance and time for functional skills tests. Now, speed, distance and time doesn't often come up, but it can come up when we're looking at, say, things like map reading or other random questions to do with that. Now, a lot of people panic when we see speed, distance and time because it can be quite hard to work these out. Luckily, we have a couple of tips that will help you do this a lot easier. So what we have is our speed, distance and time triangle. So what we have is we've got distance at the top, so we'll just put a D, speed and time. Now this triangle we use to work out what calculation we have to do. So what we've got is D over time, or divided by, and then in between speed and time we have a multiplies. So this works quite simply. If we're looking for how much time, or say we're looking for how much speed, what speed we've been doing, we can take that off and we've now got the calculation of distance divided by time is equal to speed. So that's how we do it, by covering up or getting rid of the one that we're looking for. So in our case it was speed, so I'll just put that back in. And that is all there is to it, essentially. So you can do quite complicated questions to do with these three very easily by using this triangle. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go through a couple of example questions just to have a look, make sure we've got exactly how it works. So first question we'll do here. So we've been driving for 17 kilometers and we've been, let's think how long. So we've been running. We've done 17 kilometers and we've been going at 5 kilometers per hour. So what we've essentially got here is we have our distance and our speed. So we know we're looking for the time. We know we're looking for how long we've been going for. So if we get rid of the time thing here, this is now going to tell us how to work this out. Oops. Put the triangle back together. So we've got, again, D over S. So distance, which is 17 kilometers, divided by 5, which is our speed. So luckily for us, because we're doing functional skills, we're always allowed a calculator for these questions, no matter what. So 17 divided by 5 gives us 3.4. And what that does is that tells you you've been going for 3.4 hours. And that's all there is to it. Now, one thing we might see here is the 0.4 hours. So this little bit here. Now, a lot of people can get this confused with this meaning 40 minutes. And obviously you can see where it's coming from, a 4 after the amount of hours, you can think 40 minutes. It's not quite that simple, unfortunately. Because what we've got is 0.5 of an hour is equal to 30 minutes. So 0.5 is half an hour, which is 30 minutes. So how can we work out what 0.4 is in minutes? There's a very nice trick to be doing this. So leave the 3 alone, because we know that that's 3 hours on the dot. We don't need to play about with that. So what we can do though is take our 0.4, or 0.4, whichever way you prefer to write it, and then multiply it by the amount of minutes that are in an hour, which is 60. Again, feel free to bring up your calculator if you need to. 0.4 multiplied by 60 shows us that that's 24 minutes. So what we've actually been doing, when we were doing this run, it took us 3 hours and 24 minutes. That's what the 3.4 meant. And that's exactly how we break it down. Now, obviously this bit and this bit, you know, it's quite hard. It's not something that we tend to do a lot. So it does take a little bit of practice getting used to these. Obviously, the more practice you do with this style of question, the better. It always helps. But that's always the same. It's always the same kind of style. So let's have a look. Let's just rub this out for now. We'll have a look at another question quickly. Let's rub this top bit out as well, actually. Right, so do another question. Let's have a look. We'll do. So we've been driving at 42 miles per hour, and we've been driving for, let's say, 6 hours. So let's look at this again. Let's break this down again. So we've got our speed here at 42 miles an hour, and we've got our time of 6 hours. So what we know we're looking for is distance. So as again, we can just get rid of that. Oops. Get rid of a bit too much of my triangle there. Let's put that back together quickly. So what we've got now is speed multiplied by time. That's the sum that's the calculation we need to do to work out the distance. So speed, first of all, of 42 miles an hour, and the time of 6 hours. So what we end here with is 42 multiplied by 6. 2 multiplied by 6, 252. So what that shows us is that we've actually been driving and we've covered 252 miles. And that's all there is to it. Just take out the one that the letter that you're looking for, and then do the calculation that it's telling you to. It's as simple as that. And that is the end of this short tutorial.